presentation, English presentation of L7DEX. I apologize that the slides are written in German. The reason is that we are building right now everything in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, our organization. So, and this is a huge chance for you because the international market is completely open. What is L7DEX? Before I go a little bit in detail, I want to talk about the history of the people behind, because we are living in times where so many scams out there, and there's a reason why I jumped the first time in my life in an ROI deal. And the reason is definitively the people behind. I have been approached around 6 weeks ago by a person that I personally trust a lot, because he was the CEO Asia of a German company I was building in 2012. And I know that this guy is the 100% corporate guy, really very structured. He's not this MLM, hypey energy. He's a very corporate driven blue type of analyst. And when he called me, I was the first time open to have a look in something like this, because I really trust him. And I took the opportunity to fly to Malaysia. I was there 3 weeks. I was sitting in the biggest TV channel from Asia with 6.6 or 6.3 billion views a month, Web TV Asia. I did my meetings there for 3 weeks. So I saw it is real. They own 66% of this channel. They have a history in crypto, because when everything started in 2011, 12 in Beijing in China, these guys was preparing their first crypto activity. That was an exchange called Bullbit, where they did around 300 million USDT volume, but it was the time of the ICO. And in this time, of course, people made a lot of money with such a kind of exchange launching such projects. With this money they invested, this was also the time when 70% of the Bitcoin miners was in China, and they had around 300,000 Bitcoin miners there, till the ban in 2017, when they was obliged to leave the country, and they exported their hardware, most of them in North America, in Georgia and in Texas, till today managed by a public listed company called BTOG, that's not active right now, because this old miners, the first generation of miners, the S7, S8, these miners will only be profitable again when Bitcoin will go over 50 to 60,000 USDT. And this will happen for sure in the next bull market. After this, they invested in traditional businesses. They invested in Healthland, that is a chain of 50 five-star spas in Asia, in Malaysia. They invested in this TV channel and 400 other different companies, all under the cover of X Infinity, that is a holding in Malaysia that is doing a lot of traditional businesses. This project here has been born after they did very well in an exchange in China after the ban called Ubank. This time they had 5 million accounts, they have 5 billion volume, and they collected all the experience that they now put in this project here. That is the first completely decentralized project that these guys are launching. By decentralized, I mean it's the same kind of project that you can find with of all technologies, with PancakeSwap, SushiSwap, Uniswap. Why all technologies? Because L7DEX is the most modern, the newest technologies you can find in a DEX. And of course, we are all professionals in this call. We know that the next big category in the next bull market will be decentralized exchange, because the difficulties of the centralized. It's more and more difficult to trade on Binance, to trade on all this centralized exchange. The KYC process is more and more difficult. And things like leverage trading will not happen in centralized in the future anymore. So it will be the time for this new decentralized category like L7DEX that can do things that Uniswap cannot do. Like, for instance, placing orders in a decentralized order book, or even trading leverage to up to 100 leverage. All things that will make this exchange one of the hot projects in the next bull market. But there will be not only one. there will be a lot of this kind of exchange that will try to take this market and to become the competitor of Uniswap. The difference is the strategy, and this is where I want to talk about today, how this decentralized exchange will approach the market to become the competitor number one of Uniswap in the next bull market. Why do I talk always about bull market? Let's talk just a few sentences about this, what will happen in 2024. We know it's the halving year, and we know that after or before the halving, a few months before or later, most of the time later, we start a new bull market that every time goes completely crazy. The lowest X's that we saw in a bull market was in 2020. So the last one, we had a 21x of Bitcoin. It went from 3,000 to 68,000. And this time, and we all expect a correction around 13 to 15,000. When I say all, this comes from these guys. So I really believe that these guys that are working behind the scenes here, the ones that have the money into this project, these are the whales. These are the big guys that are moving the markets. And they expect a Bitcoin price around 10, 13, 15,000 beginning of 2024. And it's logic, always a big correction before the next bull market. And this time we will see whatever we will see, but we will see at least a 200 or 250,000 Bitcoin. So the next market cap will not be 3 trillion like last time, but it will be around 15 to 20 trillion. And this is where we are now. We are exactly on this point now. And 2024 or 2025, we will see, will be the time to do well, perhaps the last time in this big way, like it will happen this time. And all what we talk today is about a preparation, how we can have the right vehicle to take the most money out of this bull market. That will happen with or without us. And the strategy of L7DEX is absolutely genius. And when you understand the strategy, everything what I explained today will only from the logic part and make understand people easily that it would be stupid to exit with this potential of profit that this company can do. It's always, we always think about, can it be an exit? Can it be a scam? Yes, of course it can be a scam, but the logic behind with all the technology what they have and the money they can make in this bull market, it would be stupid to do an exit. It would be stupid to kill a cow for 250 million if you give me 250 million milk every day. This is my logic approach. So let's talk about their strategy. The difference between L7DEX and all these other ones, because it will not be the only one, and it will not be the only one with a good technology approach. There will be dozens of good potential DEXs that can be the competitor of Uniswap. But the difference is that we will not start with 10,000 people like started Uniswap, that on the end had 5 billion volume a day. We will start at least with 100,000 or with the power of network marketing, perhaps with 1 million, 2 or 3 million, and enter this market with so many people. So if Uniswap did in the last bull market something like 5 billion a day, how much can a decentralized exchange like L7DEX do if they have a better technology and they don't start with 10,000, but they start with 1 million of people? This is the strategy. So it's all about building a network. And the way how we build a network is, I call it the carrot. I talk about the approach. This is the absolutely most hot deal that you can find right now when it comes about a legit deal. Scams can even give 3% a day. But if it's like this one, something with a real concept behind, 1.5% a day minus fees, so it will be around 1.35% a day. We are talking about 40% a month. The other day, a German top leader asked me, yeah, but what's the real product for the customer, for the end customer? How can we bring this to the people? My answer was simple: 40% a month. What do you want more? Ah, you're right. Yes, that's it. That's the product. This is how I build it now in a few weeks, more than 3.3 million volume. And well, I don't like to talk about revenues, but I'm doing very well. I never made so much money in such a short period of time because the product is so easy, 40% a month. And people can read through it daily, and they can take out their profit and limit their risk daily with 1.35% a day. This means after 74 days, you have no risk at all anymore because you have your money out. So this is the strategy, how we build this million of people. An approach, a business model where people can definitively not say no. Now, the question is, what's the difference to a scam? Very simple. We have a business model. Our business model is to become the competitor of Uniswap. And when Uniswap did last year in the bear market 620 billion volume, and they did in the bull market something like 5 billion a day, how much can they make in the next bull market that will be 5 times bigger? And if L7DEX is positioning themselves as the competitor of Uniswap that started with 10,000 people and we start with 1 million, I don't need to tell you, Uniswap did 20 billion transaction fees in the next bull market, and they will make 200, 300, 400 billion in the next one. So how much money can a decentralized exchange do that is starting with a huge community, with a better technology that can offer features like leverage and like spot trading decentralized in the order book and much, much more that Uniswap cannot? So the future is absolutely prosper for this kind of project, and they will. This is the reason why I would say, why would they do an exit with a few $100 million if they can earn 500 million a day in the next bull market? So that's the first strategy, to make a lot of money with transaction fees and insurance fees. But this is where the big money is in. But this is only the first part of their business model. The next part, what I want to show you, is very similar what we saw in 2017 with Ethereum. I don't know if you know, but in 2017, Ethereum was worth less than $3. And at the end of the year, it made a 30,000x because it went over $1,000. What was the reason? You remember, on the beginning, I talked about Bullbit that did 300 million with ICOs. This was the time when everybody was developing on Ethereum. This was the time when thousands of very good projects, when they launched the ICO run, the ERC20 ICO run in 2017, made Ethereum one of the top coins in the market. And only for one reason. Do you remember? You needed first to exchange your Bitcoin or your USDT into Ethereum before you could buy your preferred project on ERC20 on Ethereum. And this is the reason, because Ethereum was the currency you needed, why Ethereum went where it is today. Of course, after this, a lot of development happened. But in the first time, the only reason why Ethereum did a 30,000x was you needed the currency to buy your preferred project. And this, from the side, got observed by a young man, and this time he was much younger than now. Now he's a little bit older, CZ from Binance. And he had a huge, very smart strategy. When you remember, he gave BNB to everybody visiting in 2016. If you visited Binance.com, you get 500 BNB for free. So, and what he did, when he overfloated the market with his BNBs, and then on a certain point, after spreading some FUD, some negative news about his own project, he repurchased 90% of all BNBs and he burned it. On the same time, he launched our so beloved Binance Smart Chain. And he did the same like Ethereum network did in 17. He launched a lot of new projects on this Binance Smart Chain. And the only reason why BNB did a 7,000x in 2018 was the IDO run. It was the currency that you needed to buy first if you wanted to buy and to trade on Binance Smart Chain for the transaction fees, but also you needed this token as a currency to buy these thousands of cool projects on Binance Smart Chain. And this is the reason why BNB went from 50 cents. I'm not talking about a few years ago, it was a few cents. So it did in total a 2.6 million X. But just in 2018, it did a 7,000X because people needed to buy BNB to be part and to pay projects to buy token on the IDO run on Binance. A few years later came this first thing where we had this food exchange, sushi swap, pancake swap. And what was Cake? Cake was, excuse my expression, a shitcoin that had been invented just for pancake swap. But this shitcoin did a 4,000X just for one reason, because you needed Cake if you wanted to make business on Binance. So what does this guy do? These guys do. They have their own token. What is ETH for Ethereum? What is BNB for Binance? What is Cake for pancake swap? Uni for Uniswap is LSD for L7 DEX. And LSD will be the token that will all make us rich. We can do a lot of money now, 40% a month. Yeah, it's a very good deal. But this is where the big money is in. And let me explain you how and why. Already now, they work on a project to make out of LSD an asset, a really asset that will survive every bull and every next bear market and the next bull market and the next bear market. It will be an asset that we have today, also the asset BNB, Ripple, Ethereum, and so on. And they do it by already now making contracts with hundreds and till the bull market will be thousands of projects of very nice Web3.0 projects with new young developers that will decide to launch their project on L7 DEX. And the reason why they will launch it on L7 DEX is that we do a contract with them. We say to them in detail what they have to do and not to do. We finance them. We give them the technical support. We give them the community. This is exactly what we are building now. Such a young team. They have no community and they have no money. They just have their ideas and their technical skills. So we bring them on a level that they can collect in the next bull market millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars to finance their projects. And this is the main plan here. This currency, L7 DEX, will, the same like ETH and BNB and Cake in the past, will be the only currency that will be accepted to buy these thousands of cool projects like a launchpad that will be launched on this L7 DEX. And you remember, when the bull market is in the middle of the run, the taxi driver in Australia, in the US, in Germany, everywhere is talking about, wow, I bought yesterday on Sushi Swap a new thing that will be the next big thing. So when the market goes hot, when people are begging for allocations, when the launch pads are coming out from nowhere and launching with hundreds of projects every week, when the market is hot again, this is when this LSD token will absorb from the market billions of capital in this project. And that's the reason why I say that this will make you rich. If you make 1,000 USDT in commission and you don't take it out, you let it in the system for compounding to create your LSD token, you can make out of 1,000 commission, 1,000,000 commission. You don't need to, but you can. This is the project. But these guys, they will make trillions by just attracting liquidity in their token from the market, because you will need to buy LSD in the next bull market if you want to buy these thousands of projects that are will be launched on L7 DEX. You remember after 17, they took out the miners, they brought it to North America, and the Bitcoin miners are still there, 300,000 miners. And there will be a time in around, yeah, perhaps in the middle of the bull market, when the Bitcoin price will go again in direction of 100,000, over 69 for sure, it will go direction 100. This will be the time when people will again beg for hash power. They will want to buy this technology, this computer pounding power, to get their golden eggs every morning by mining Bitcoin. And this, when the miners will be profitable again and the Bitcoin price will be up, this project will sell hash power to their community. So the point is now, the only question is, how will this project manage the liquidity? Because there is two kinds of reasons why this kind of project fail. Reason number one is not enough liquidity. Reason number two is, well, not enough volume, sorry. Reason number two is too much volume, because you need a lot of liquidity, and they manage this on a very intelligent way. We all that are listening this presentation, we will do a lot of money in the next 4 to 6 months, and to the bull market, perhaps the next 12 to 18 months. And we will, by ourselves, stabilize our own business by, on one side, giving 10% of our income in the liquidity. So we don't, L7DEX don't need to beg for investors to block liquidity on Uniswap, so we have enough liquidity. We don't need this. We collect our own liquidity from our network. If you make 100,000 commission, if you make 10,000 commission, you have no problem to put 10% of your income in a liquidity pool that is stabilizing your own business. And on the same time, this is why everybody will love this, on the same time, you will receive allocations from all these hundreds, if not thousands, of hot projects that will have 1,000 or 10,000x potential in the next bull market that will be launched on L7DEX. So you will have pre-sale allocations long before the markets will pump the coins, with so many potential coins. If only one of them is going in the top 50, you can be, with this, make so much money that you cannot imagine. So the liquidity problem is on the same time solved. Now let's go now on the second part. Let's go in the way how the carrot works, how the business model works. So everything starts with USDT on BSC. So it must be USDT on Binance Smart Chain, and you send this USDT to a smart contract. And through the smart contract, you are now minting an NFT. And this NFT, you can anytime, if you want, if it's not staked, you can exchange it against USDT. This is very important, because on the end of your staking program that I will explain now, you still have your NFT. By the way, it will be listed on Binance NFT very soon, and on Huobi will be listed all the rest of the coins, but I'm talking now in the next weeks. So this means that you can anytime go back into USDT. You just have to pay a conversion fee of 5%. So, but the business model starts by minting this NFT. Let's say you send 10,000 USDT, you mint in 10,000 NFT, and now you stake it. From the moment you stake it, you receive every day 1.5%. minus a certain percentage depending how many days you stake. If you stake only 10 days, you pay 30% fee. By the way, this fee goes not in the pocket of the founders of L7DEX. This fee will be used to burn LSD, so that from the 210 million supply that we have from day one, once the bull market starts and you want to evaluate and make money out of your LSD, there will be 90% less that exists today. There will be around 20 million LSDs on the end, so that the price will be very stable and go to the roof in the next, go to the stars in the next bull market. So you pay 30% if you stake for 10 days, then the daily reward is 1.05%. But still, we are talking about 30% in a month, okay? But most of the people, me including, I can show it later in the screen sharing, I am staking for 360 days because I get the 1.5% payout daily and I pay only 10%. And that's the reason why I'm talking about 1.35% a day. This is what we do. And this 1.35% a day, as you can see it here, are paid in LUSD. So what is LUSD? It's a stable coin, will be listed very soon on Wobi, for instance, that has the same value like a USDT. And if you want to exit, if you want to take out your commission, if you want to put it in USDT, you can do this daily. Let's say you stake 10,000, you will make every day 135 LUSD, and you can swap this 135 LUSD into USDT and withdraw. The only what you have to pay is the 5% transaction fee, transfer fee, sorry, if you want to withdraw. So this is a short, the most simple business model when all about this concept. You just mint, you take 1.35% a day and you take it out. So every day you have 1.35% less risk. After 30 days, you have around 40% or 45% of your risk out because 45% of your principal is out. And after 74 days, you are break even. So this is the first part of the business model. But now I was talking all the time from this potential of 1,000 and 10,000 X of LSD. LSD is a token that you cannot buy on the open market. You can only, and you even cannot transfer it between you guys. If you have earned LSD with this staking program that I will explain now, you cannot send it to me. I cannot repurchase from you guys. And on the end, I have 1 million LSD and I dump the market. This is not possible. And this is very good for our safety of all of us. So what you can do is you can take your profit, you can take your LUSD or a part of your profit, and you can restake it and you can use the compounding effect. And this time you receive 1.5% a day without any withdrawal fees if you take it out and without time limits. So any day, anytime, and I will show it live later, anytime you can just unstake what the LUSDs and you can swap it into USDT. So also here, you are very free to do whatever you want. For me, the good solution is to take out the profits. The better solution is to make 10,000x with the profits by staking the LUSD and receive it as a raw LSD. But I can also, if I'm stupid, I can sell them in USDT, but it would be really stupid because this LSD token every day goes up till the listing with 1 cent. It started with 10 cents and it's already now around 47 cents or something like this. Every day 1 cent more. So till the listing of the exchange, it will be around 140 anyway. So it will do a 3x without doing anything. But you can anytime convert it. You can do with your money whatever you want to do, or you just hold it and you wait till the market is hot again. People will buy LSD like crazy, and we will see what we saw with BNB that went from 50 cents to 600. We will see this LSD that goes from 150 perhaps on the day launch to I don't know where. Worst case 100, perhaps 1,000, perhaps 10,000. We will see how far the next bull market will go. So this was the carrot. This was the 40% present for everybody who's staking NFTs with this protocol. And of course, now I want to talk about the commission that we can make. And this commission plan is for me very exciting because it gives two competence of comp plans that are the most fair. I don't like binaries because the little guy downstairs has to build 2 legs and he will always get paid only on the weaker leg, and all his work on the strong leg will not be rewarded. Same with matrices. It's only the first 3 levels that have a chance to get a spillover. So for me, the most fair plan is unilevel, and this is a mixed plan between unilevel and a difference bonus plan. First of all, here there's something that I never saw before. You receive money from your upline. So let's say your upline is staking the same like you stake, it must be the same. So if your upline is staking 10,000 NFT and is making this 4,000 a month, you will receive 5% of the staking, the full staking reward of your upline. And your upline will, of course, also take out profit, but they will also add more money to more and more to stake more. So this means that this 5% will be every month more and more. So you get 5% of the money that is making your upline with their staking program. But not only from your upline, also from the upline from your upline. So even the strong upline of your upline will pay, you will get 5% of the reward that they do, that they get. Now comes about building. First generation. Let's say you have one guy who has 10,000 frontline, or let's say you have in total frontline 100,000. 100,000 is 40,000 a month staking reward. You will make 10% of this 40,000, so 4,000. So they don't pay you money on the principle that the downline is staking. They pay you on the reward. Calculating mathematically, it's still 10% on the reward is, if you want, if you calculate it right, it's 4% on the full money that is staked. But it is huge. And it's not only first generation, it's also second generation. Second generation, where of course you will have much more staking volume than in the first generation. So let's say you have 500,000 volume in the second, this is 200,000 rewards. So you make 10% of the 200,000. That's 20,000 every month. This is it. That's the plan. With this plan, we could go with online marketing viral around the world, like the same, like Amazon is doing an affiliate program for their people that refer their program around the world. Now comes the next part that is the very interesting part for leaders. It's the difference bonus plan. This plan will allow you, additional to the 10% that I explained just before, to get on your full volume, even on your first two generations. So you can have up to 50% plus the 10 of the first two generations. So it means up to 60%, 60% of the full reward of your first two generations and 50% maximum on all generations together. So how does it work? It's a plan that will ask you to climb the ranks from V1 to V5. So let's talk about the V1. A V1 is somebody who has at least 2 legs, who has in the strongest leg more than 20,000 volume, that is not counting. And on the weakest leg, or the 2 or 3 weakest leg together, he has to have minimum 20,000 staking volume. So that's nothing. It's 2 NFTs of 10,000. Okay. So very quickly, you will be V1. As a V1, you make 10% on the completely group earning. So you will have not a huge group. Let's say you have 20 people and they earn, most of them are not networkers, for instance, they just stake their program, but they make 200,000 earnings per month. So you make 10% on this because you have the 10% difference bonus. If you have 2 lines with 2 V1s, you start to make real money. Now you make 20%. Imagine all the people not qualified V1, you make the 20% on it. And if you have under you a V1, you still, because he makes 10 and you make 20, you make the difference. That's the reason why it's a difference plan. You make the difference between the 20 and the 10%. To become V3, it's simple. You have to have 2 lines, maximum 2, it's okay. 2 lines with, in each line, V2. It must not be direct. It can also be deep in the organization. And then you get 30%. The difference bonus is always the same. You get 10% on your V2s, you get 20% on your V1s, and you get 30% on everybody who's not qualified. Now it gets really interesting. V4, it's the first rank where you need 3 legs. 3 legs, and in each leg, somewhere deep in the organization must be 1 V3. Then you make 40%. Let me calculate this example. 40%, you are qualified and you just sponsor your grandma with a 100,000 NFT because she just sold a house or she is diversifying in her family a little bit, her heritage, and she has 100,000 available. She's staking an NFT for 100K. She's making 40K a month out of this. She can, if you want, exchange in USDT and go back in dollar and euro whenever she wants. So she makes 40,000 a month month with her NFT staking, and you will make 40% of the 40,000. Every month you make 16,000. This is so massive. You asked me how I could make so much money in such a short period of time. That's the reason. People understand that here's so much money behind. The next rank then is 3 legs with V4 in each leg. Must be 1 V4, and then you make 50%. Massive. I don't need to calculate it. I think you got the idea. And then there is still a partner pool. This is very exciting. As a partner pool, you have to have, again, 3 legs. So it's a plan you can build only with 3 lines. If you have 3 legs, in each leg is somewhere in the organization a V5, then you're a qualified partner and you share 10% of the worldwide staking reward of all the protocol. So imagine they have a billion volume that is very realistic before the launch of the bull market, when it will enter of the bull market, a billion volume. This means 400 million staking reward monthly. So 40 million will be shared with all 10% of 400. So 40 million will be shared with all partners. And this is not a pool where you will have thousands of people. This is a pool where you have perhaps 10 people or 20 people or 100 people. So you will share this 40 million every month with just a little community of top leaders. I hope I could give you a little overview about this amazing concept. And I will stop this recording now.